The supply chain choke points beyond the Suez Canal. We have all seen the headlines. A single ship gets wedged in the Suez Canal, and the global economy holds its breath. A drone attack in the Red Sea occurs, and suddenly, shipping insurance rates skyrocket by 400%. But what if I told you these aren't just isolated crises or unfortunate accidents? They are symptoms of a massive coordinated shift in global geography. While the world's attention is fixed on the Suez, a new set of strategic choke points is being identified, developed, and in some cases, weaponized. This isn't just about logistics. It's about the rise of the BRICS nations and a fundamental challenge to Western maritime dominance. Today, we are looking beyond the Suez to the strategic bottlenecks that are being redesigned to reset the global economy by 2026. If you want to understand why the map of the world is being redrawn, you have to look at the gates where the trade can be stopped or started at the flip of a switch. The Kra Canal and the Malacca Dilemma. Let's start in Southeast Asia. For decades, the Straits of Malacca has been the undisputed juggernaut of global trade. It is the shortest sea route between the Middle East and East Asia. However, it is also a massive strategic vulnerability. 80% of China's oil imports pass through this narrow corridor. The problem for Beijing: the strait is heavily patrolled by U.S. Navy and its allies. In the conflict, Malacca becomes a stranglehold. Enter the Kra Canal, or as it's currently being pitched, the Thai land bridge. For over a century, this was considered a pipe dream. But now, with BRICS, aligned interests, and massive infrastructure investment on the table, it's becoming a reality. By cutting a path through the Isthmus of Kra in Thailand, ships could bypass the Strait of Malacca in Singapore entirely. This would shave 1,200 kilometers off the journey. But more importantly, it would move the world's most important critical energy flow out of the reach of Western naval blockades. If this project moves forward, the power dynamic of the Indo-Pacific changes overnight. Singapore's role as the world's premier transit hub would be challenged, and the Malacca Dilemma that has haunted Chinese planners for 30 years would finally be solved. The Bab el-Mandeb and the African pivot. Next, we move to the Gate of Grief, the Bab el-Mandeb. You have likely seen the recent chaos in the Red Sea, but the real story isn't just about the missiles, it's about the land surrounding the water. We are witnessing a massive African pivot, with Ethiopia recently joining BRICS and new naval bases popping up from Eritrea to Somaliland. The West is losing its historic grip on this vital energy corridor. This isn't just about security, it's about sovereign leverage. For decades, the Horn of Africa was seen as a region to be managed. Now these nations are realizing that they sit on the world's most valuable real estate. By aligning with the BRICS bloc, these coastal and near-coastal states are seeking to move away from Western maritime security frameworks. They are looking for development, for security. They are looking for development for security swaps. If the Suez is the front door to world trade, the Bab el-Mandeb is the porch, and the people standing on the porch are changing their allegiance. When we talk about 2026, we aren't just talking about shipping lanes. We are talking about who owns the ports, who services the ships, and who controls the literal ground beneath the world's most essential trade route. The Northern Sea Route and the Arctic frontier. Finally, we have to look north. While the world focuses on tropical waters, Russia is aggressively marketing the Northern Sea Route, or NSR, as the Suez alternative. Climate shifts are making the Arctic more navigable, but the geopolitical shifts are even more significant. The NSR cuts shipping time from Asia to Europe by an incredible 40% compared to the Suez route. Russia is currently investing billions into a fleet of nuclear-powered icebreakers, the largest in the world, to ensure this route stays open year-round. They aren't doing this alone. China has officially dubbed this the Polar Silk Road. If the Suez Canal becomes too dangerous due to Middle Eastern instability, or too expensive due to rising tolls and insurance, the Arctic becomes a logical escape valve. But there's a catch. Unlike the high seas, Russia claims much of this route as internal waters. If the future of trade moves north, the keys to the global economy moves from Mediterranean into the hands of the Kremlin. This is the ultimate wild card that could redefine global logistics by the end of the decade. In conclusion, the so what. So why does this matter to you? These choke points are the physical infrastructure of the currency war we have been discussing on this channel. Control of trade is control of currency that trade is conducted in. If BRICS nations control the Kra Canal, the gate of grief, and the Northern Sea Route, they don't just control ships, they control the flow of value. They can dictate which currencies are accepted at the ports and which nation gets preferred status. The world of 2026 isn't just about who has the biggest army. It's about who holds the keys to the world's bottlenecks. The map is changing and the old routes are no longer guaranteed. I want to hear from you. Which of these three checkpoints do you think is the most dangerous for the global economy right now? Is it the Malacca Dilemma, the Red Sea, or the new Arctic frontier? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more, if you want to see how this shift in trade impacts your actual purchasing power, you need to watch my deep dive on the BRICS versus USD currency war of 2026 next. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you once again. I'm Ro, and all I'm asking you is to roll with me. Thank you.